Hello friends, we have a brand new Armored Core 6 story trailer that dropped today. In this video, we are going to take a look at what we saw in this trailer and help piece together some of the story and world we can expect to experience in Armored Core 6. But before we get into this breakdown, in case you haven't seen it, here's the full trailer without any of my commentary.
You again. I'm not exactly craving company here.
Hounds now entering combat zone. Initiating phase
2. So what happened to 617 and the others? Fill me in, Admiral Walter. Well, at least you're helping me clear my inventory. This one is functional, but don't expect much more.
I'm not here to talk. Wake it up. Updating target parameters. Phase 3, pattern E. Six one seven lost. Reporting to Handler Walter. Mission complete. 621. I'll give you a reason to resist. Let's get to work.
Okay, so the first thing I want to know about this trailer is that it takes place in kind of two stages. The first stage is a flashback showing a team of three armored cores on a mission. And the second stage is during what I assume is like the present day in this world. And it shows Walter talking to a doctor who is creating these modified humans. And both of these players, so the Doctor and Walter, both of them are unseen. So, as such, we're going to focus on this trailer in two parts, starting with the mission with the three mechs. So, I apologize if I'm jumping around a little bit, but I'm going to try to pinpoint some of the details that I've noticed. As I said earlier, there are three mechs on this mission, and when they start rolling out, they kind of address themselves as hounds rolling out, or hounds entering combat zone. And let's take a look at these mechs because, we can get a little bit of details from them. So this mech here that is kind of in the center of the screen is what seems to be the main mech. It is equipped with a Gatling gun in the right arm. And let's see if I can get a bit of a better angle here. It's got a Gatling gun here in the right arm, It has a pile bunker in the left arm, which is the melee weapon, and then it has a deployable shield on the back left shoulder, and it looks like a grenade launcher or RPG on the back right shoulder. So then the other two mechs, let's see here. So this mech here, it looks like it has a battle rifle in the right arm, and we'll get a better look at this later, but I think the left arm looks like another pile bunker. And then on the back, it has two shoulder mounted or back mounted rocket launchers, both of the same make and model. And then finally, for the third mech here, it looks like it's. And then as for this third mech, it looks like it's wielding two shotguns or two handguns. I'm not entirely sure what this is here, but later on we get a bit of a better look. It looks like it's just two shotguns. That's what I'm assuming. And then on its back, it looks like it's wielding a. It has a battle rifle equipped so that it can swap out its shotguns and equip battle rifles instead. So it kind of has that Armored Core 5 arsenal feel. But the other thing to note about all three of these mechs is that they are all bipedal. No reverse joint, no quad legs, no tank legs. They're all the same leg style. So then continuing on with this mission, we have, again, the rocket launcher mech. It's firing a barrage of missiles. This kind of reminds me a little bit of like the Blitzkrieg tactic a little bit, where it's going to kind of pepper the opposition's defenses and whittle them down a little bit. However, this mech, after finding the salvo, just gets immediately destroyed. And then here we're going to see these missiles that were fired. They're going to land and, pepper up the base a little bit. And our mechs are now entering the facility. So there it said that this mech that was just lost is Modified Human 619. Again, there are 3 of these mechs on the mission, so kind of keep an eye on which agent or which human is assigned which number, because I think there's a little bit of a clue on someone that we might see later in the story, but we'll talk about that later. So continuing on, we have our main mech here. It has a shield that gets destroyed, followed by the pile bunker arm getting destroyed. And then on this screen, we can see the 3 mechs that are out on this mission. The main mech is 617, and 619 is the missile mech that was destroyed. And then we have 620, who is the one with like the dual-wielding shotguns or dual-wielding handguns. And it looks like this is their target. It's what kind of almost reminds me of something like from Star Wars, where it's kind of firing giant lasers, so heavy artillery. It seems like that's the target for this mission. So as these mechs are approaching, they're going to be intercepted by what seems to be like the tank mech that we've seen in the gameplay trailer from a couple months ago. And so these mechs are just duking it out with this thing. And find that slightly. So this tank mech looks like it has this giant energy shotgun that rotates. So it has like 360-degree tracking. But you'll see here, it'll track like that. And then it's going to just blast this mech to pieces. And there's our second mech now lost on this mission. And then now we have our hero, our lone hero, charging the giant mech and going for what seems to be the weak point. If this ends up being a mini boss within the game, which I wouldn't be surprised since we've already kind of seen some of that gameplay. It looks like the head, which is located maybe in the center of the body, is going to be the main weak point. Just really jamming that Gatling gun down his throat. So now we can see here that some of the barrels are, well, almost every single barrel is now overheated and damaged. And the mech is just kind of all beaten up and battered, but still standing.
Updating target parameters. Phase 3.
And at this point, we can see that this mech was charging up the assault armor. This is again a little different than assault boosting. This is a giant like EMP like effect where it's going to deal just a devastating damage around the mech itself. So he's essentially turning himself into a mobile bomb. And then you can see the laser dissipating, meaning that the target was successfully destroyed. And then just to wrap up this mission component here, we see the mech, the remains of it at least, just kind of rotting away now in the rain here. And we also see that 617 was lost in this mission as well. So what can we learn about the mission component from this trailer? Well, first, we can take a little look at the arsenal that's been shown. These rocket launchers are identical, and we're able to equip 2 of them on both back pieces. We already kind of knew that, but the other thing, and I know that there were some rumors about it, it's kind of going back to what I said about dual wielding the shotgun or the pistols. So I think that's here. Let's see, I can't find it. It's very hard to tell, but it looks like it's kind of got maybe it's a shotgun and a pistol, or I don't know. What do you guys think? Because they almost look identical here. Let me slow it down. They almost look like the exact same weapon type. And I know that there were some rumors saying that we wouldn't be able to equip the same like weapon category in our arms. But this seems to say otherwise. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think that this looks like 2 shotguns being equipped? Because that's kind of what I think. But anyhow, the other thing that I wanted to call out is referring back to the actual mechs that are on this mission, or the humans that are on this mission. So in this screen, we see 617, 619, and 620, but we don't see modified human 618. Does that mean that we're going to maybe run into 618 later on in the story? I don't know. It's kind of interesting to think about, but not really that big of implications, I don't think. Okay, but now I want to shift the conversation back to between Walter and the doctor.
You again.
From the start, we see the doctor here
Exactly.
just kind of complaining that Walter is back yet again to his facility asking for more modified humans.
What happened to 617?
So here he refers back to the different humans that were out on that mission. Obviously, we know that they have all perished at this point.
The others. Fill me in, Admiral Walter.
This line here asking him to fill the doctor in, Handler Walter, it kind of goes to show that, again, these modified humans are referred to as hounds. So it's unclear if hounds are mercenaries, if they're a slave army, or what that actually means. But again, we know that the person in charge of this group of mercenaries or army or whatever is this Walter person. In this next clip, we see that the doctor is referring to Walter helping him clear out his inventory, which seems to imply that Walter has been to this doctor many times trying to be supplied with these modified humans. In this next scene, we see that Walter is, he's coming into this room. You can see he's walking on a cane a little bit here. But the doctor is explaining to Walter that this one, being us, the player, is functional, but don't expect too much. That seems to imply that we are slightly defective, but Walter brushes that off because, it seems like he just doesn't care. He just needs bodies for whatever mission he's trying to push. So basically, he's in an all-out war, it seems like.
Much more.
I'm not here to talk.
And on top of all that, he says, "Wake it up." I'm not sure if that is kind of meant as like dehumanizing term. But it just makes it seem like we're just a slave in his grand scheme of things. It just seems inhumane. And then finally, after the mission has been completed. Here we see that 617 is lost. And then it cuts to this scene here, which seems to be cables being removed from a body or something. I can't exactly make out what all of this is, but you see that this is just pulling out cables. And I'm not sure if that is the way that these humans are woken up, or if it means that our bodies are kind of remotely controlling these armored cores, and like, I don't know, like your brain is kind of connected to the machinery, and if the machine dies, you kind of die or something. I have no idea, because later on in this scene here, uh you hear Walter say, "I'll give you a reason to exist." And we wake up, and it seems like the armored core itself starts to become enabled. So it's almost like we're connected with the machinery. It doesn't seem like, I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you think that we're actually inside the armored cores themselves, or do you think that we're connected, like we're essentially having our brain wired up to the machine itself? I think it'll be pretty interesting if they kind of go down that remote operation route. I don't think that'll be the case though. I don't know, I'm just curious to see what you all think. Also, I love the music in this trailer. It's very, like, I don't know, like very cyberpunk like. It really gets me excited. I really love this trailer. I think this is the best one yet, in my opinion. It has me very hyped for the game. I can't wait to hear more about the game in these coming weeks. I think we're going to really see the marketing start to ramp up. But that's going to be it from me. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel for more Armored Core content in the future, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.